C.S. Lewis is clearly one of the most influential people in my life. And therefore, the publication of this book, C.S. Lewis, Romantic Rationalist, is special to me because I love him and I love that title. And it might be helpful to know whether you'd be interested in this book to understand where it came from and what that title signifies. This book is made up of several chapters written by the speakers at the conference that we put on about C.S. Lewis, including me, Philip Ryken, Doug Wilson, Kevin Van Hooser, Randy Alcorn, and of course, David Mathis, the editor and the person who wove it together and put the introduction in here. And all of those people are writers, which means we didn't just transcribe their talk, but we sent it to them and said, make this a finished product, and they did. This is an unusually substantial treatment of C.S. Lewis. And the reason I love the Romantic Rationalist is because by romantic, we don't mean he fell in love with Joy Davidman, which he did. We mean that he had a way of looking at the world that was incredibly alive to wonder and to romance in the big literary sense. Wherever Lewis turned, he seemed to see astonishing things that some of us don't see. And then he would write it down, and when we read it, we come alive and come awake to things about reality, about God, about the world, about nature that we weren't alive to before. So that's the romantic idea. And then the rationalist idea is that he was a lucid, careful, reasoning logician. And you don't find many people who write world-famous children's stories like the Narnia tales who is that kind of thinker. And when you put those two together, you have one of a kind. I mean, I just don't think there's anybody quite like C.S. Lewis. So for personal reasons and for historic reasons in his character as a rationalist and a romantic that makes him an extraordinary storyteller and analyst of culture, I commend this to you. I think if you like C.S. Lewis or if you're wondering about who he is, I think this would be a great help.